Hey everybody, it's Lee and this is Let Us Say It For You.
It's Big Mike in his house.
Whoop, whoop. What's up, Biggie?
Ah,
How you feeling?
stomach. I'm feeling good, but I have to say something. So, one of my reels that I made, I don't look pregnant until I turn around check. It popped off, I guess, and I guess a real nigga made it. And when a real nigga makes it, you get compliments from trolls, right? You get comments from troll pages. So this particular troll page, I think it was Caribbean boy something something something. This man was like, disgusting. Black female Western pregnant women are always trying to show off their bodies during pregnancy so that other men can want to have sex with them.
What?
First of all, I didn't see this.
Oh, this is what you were talking about on Transparency Tuesday.
Yes.
I read the caption.
I didn't see this comment. Somebody came to my defense, some woman, and she was like, excuse me, sir, not under my comment, because she was like giving me credit for, you know, still not looking pregnant from behind, whatever. She was just like, keep doing what you're doing, whatever. And then he said that under her comment. She was like, no. So she defended me. She was just like, pregnant women can wear whatever makes them comfortable in this time. Their bodies are changing, blah, blah, blah. So then I didn't say anything to the man. I was like, you know,
thanks, girl.
I appreciate you, girl. You better come through for a bitch you don't know. So then he DMs me.
Oh.
So he found his way to my DM. And the DM basically reiterated what he said. He was like, so I was saying.
Oh, Lord.
He was like, here you go. But I'm not a female who's pregnant. I'm an alpha male, and that's who I am. And I don't
find black.
I don't know. There's nothing. He's a troll. There's no
posts, no pictures, no nothing.
He has this like Illuminati thing with an eye. And he was like, I don't find pregnant females sexy, wearing tight clothes, showing off their butts for other guys to hit it from the back. I don't know, so whatever. While pregnant by the next man, only in America, I tell you, man, only in America. He said man. So, like I said, his name is Caribbean in the house. So, when I read this, I was just like, this man he really wants to prove a point that Western Black American pregnant women, that's a very specific group.
Right.
Right?
Like type of women, group of women.
And he wanted to make the point that we are just so revolting because we're always trying to show off our bodies and we're trying to prove that our butts are big and we're trying to prove that we're still shapely so that other men can want to have sex with us. So all of this really just sounds like projection. I wasn't offended. I was just like, this is real specific. And it was
very weird. It was
weirdly specific. And so my thing was, poor guy, because you're like the slave master. You found the slave so attractive that it pissed you off, so you raped her and beat her to sleep because you felt this way about her. Just like they say about men in church when women wear certain things. You literally make it about the woman and what she's doing to you and how dare she tempt you and all this shit when you're the one that is lusting and sexualizing this woman, right? And so for me in this situation, obviously I was like, sir, man, this must be very hard for you to be attracted to African American women that are pregnant in the way that you are, because this is a very specific thing. So it seems like it's coming from a personal place. And the fact that I think about Black women's bodies in general, it's like, okay, damn if I do, damn if I don't. I wear a loose ass muumuu, you still see my ass shaking, just to be real. If I wear a tight ass dress, you see my ass shaking. If it's there, it's there. And so I think the same thing when it comes with cleavage, when it comes to like very strong legs, even that girl Sha'Carri, the runner, they're talking about how masculine she looks and oh my gosh, she's just so extra, her nails are long, her eye. And it's just like, makes such a problem. Everybody makes such a problem. And they take so offense to us just being who we are, right? In the video, I can clearly, the video says what it says. I don't look pregnant until I turn around. And that was the point of the video. Regardless of what I had on, that was the only comment out of 24.6 thousand comments, likes. That was the only one like that. So my thing was, okay, this is not personal attack. I mean, it's a personal attack, but I don't feel personally attacked. It's just sad that people go out of their way to try to make some point to make you feel a way about you. You know what I'm saying? And so I just thought about the strength of Black women and how we always are just being scrutinized and just always being compared and sexualized and told what we're doing, right? You're telling me this is what I'm doing. I'm doing this and I'm wearing this because I want men to hit it from the back. That's why I'm doing it. Specifically, I want men to hit it from the back. Very specific. We can't forget that. That's why I'm doing it. Of course, right? So it really blew my fucking mind. Like, wow, this shit exists. This is real. Wow, you got a racial comment, girl. And it was just so crazy because in Meg's video, that white senator was writing while he was jacking his dick. This is what I'm talking about. You hate to love what is just so grotesque and what blah, blah, blah. But meanwhile, excuse me, you jacking your dick to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so there's so many things to dissect in this.
Lord Jesus.
Start with what you start with, where I think it's kind of the point I've made before on the podcast, because my mom always makes this point. It's like
the shorts.
Yeah, the shorts. It's like everything we do as Black women is ghetto or it's classless or it's tacky. A white bitch do it, and then all of a sudden it's cultured or it's cutting edge.
Oh, it's so classy.
Yes, like when I think it was Khloe or one of the Kardashians that came out with them raggedy ass cornrows. It's like, oh, she started a new trend. Are you dead ass? So she started cornrows. So it's one of those things where it's like you said, damned if we do, damned if we don't. I've been pregnant and I had a few guys hit on me while I was pregnant. They've hit on you. It's very confusing as to why you want to have relations with a big old bitch, right? Because I was huge, right?
With the human being inside that ain't got nothing.
It's a person. Yeah, there's a person in me, and you're trying to have sex with me. So people, guys are weird, but you called him out for what he is. He is a troll, and troll. We've done the podcast before, and I've had a troll on IG Live, and they just kept writing random stuff. They just kept sending every animal that's on the thing. They didn't really, I think they bothered me a little bit. Like they kept saying, oh, you're so ugly, you're so whatever. And I'm just like, wow, this is what this looks like. This is fucking weird. Like it's just, so now I think about celebrities who have this like 30 times over, but you chuck it up to, this is obviously a nobody, but then it'll be people like me, like people who are obviously my Instagram page is real. And I'm sitting there having all these fucking opinions on what the next bitch does with her body or her kid or whatever. And it's so absurd, and I have a huge issue with men and all their fucking classifications of us, because this reminds me of my recent situation with somebody, not liking the way I dress and feeling like I'm a slut or whatever the fuck he thinks about me. So it's just like, you are so concerned with the bitch that don't know you, don't care about you. The video did exactly what the fuck you were trying to prove. I don't look pregnant. Straight ahead.
Until I turn around.
Like, whoa. This bitch is pregnant. So I think there's just so much.
It's hate. It's hate.
And I definitely think it's protection, because it's just like, I'm sorry that the roundness of my stomach, I guess, makes you want to fuck on me. I don't know, but it's like,
we have to be showing it off. That's the point. Like, it doesn't matter what a woman who is shaped wears. It doesn't matter if she's shaped and that's how her body is going to show. But
I feel like, why do you care?
They are telling us that we are doing this shit for a reason. Not just to wear jeans because I like wearing jeans. I'm wearing jeans because I want you, sir, and you, sir, to hit it from the back. That's what I want. Okay? I want you, sir, and sir, to want me sexually because of the jeans I'm putting on today. That's why I put them on today. They're telling
Okay.
us why we're wearing.
And if you do, right, like if that's the reason why I wear jeans, because I want men to visualize hitting it from the back.
So funny.
No, because then I'm okay. So then yeah, that's why I do it. I wear a shirt because I want you to visualize my tits in your mouth. Now what? Now where we going with it? You got. I'm trying to understand what the fun thing from that. And this is a very good transition into this Trick Daddy thing, because it's like it's all about opinions and everyone feels very obligated to give them. You know how I feel about unwarranted opinions, unwarranted advice. It's just like, keep it to yourself. For him to write that on your page, a lady come check him, and then he still find his trolling ass to your DMs. It's like, if you really give a fuck about this bitch at all, because clearly he feels like you're sick, okay? You want to be fucked on while you're carrying a child in your room. You
have to want to.
So clearly you're ill. Since she already got problems, why don't you just let her pregnant ass be? Since, being pregnant is enough. It's enough. A lot of weird shit happen when you're pregnant. It's enough. Like, so then, people in their opinions, we're going to bring up this Trick Daddy situation, right? He is being dragged all through social media. I think, I'm sure the what is it, the Barbs, the Beehive. Mm-hmm. They're dragging him all over the place because he said Beyonce can't sing. And he said, whatever he said about Jay-Z, nobody really cares. Like, it's just like, oh, well, he said whatever he said about Jay-Z. But Beyonce.
He said he's not the best rapper.
He's not the best rapper. They make great business movies.
Not in the South. That song, he got it from the South.
Right. And we've talked about this before. I'm not a huge Jay-Z fan. Like, he's not my top anything. Like, I think you respect like a rapper that can clearly rap. He's been in the game for a long time. He makes fantastic business.
But I wouldn't put him on because I'm biased.
Jay-Z, yeah, I literally probably I know like 2 Jay-Z songs word for word, like at all, as opposed to a Lil Wayne where I can word for word like a lot of his shit. So fine, he's justified there. The Beehive going berserk over this. Now, can Beyonce sing? I think she can sing, right? But I agree with him. For me, like my singers are Whitney Houston, but he mentioned like Patti LaBelle. Like he's old, Trick old.
He's old.
He's old. So why do y'all even care? Like, I feel like what's the point of even stressing it if Trick Daddy is so beneath? And then the bigger gag to all this is his restaurant here in Miami somewhere has dropped down to like the ratings. They've been rating his shit like a 2 point something now. So he got like the 1 star for everything, which means he obviously was doing very well for a while. For all these people to come put these 1 stars, he just be like a 2.6. And then every time they comment, they put like
a beat
end of it. It's like
so fucking obvious. So obvious.
And I think it's just like, let's just stay there for a minute. With him having opinion, what is such a big fucking deal?
It's Beyonce.
They do the same thing with Nicki Minaj. And I just feel like.
But Beyonce has been known. The Beehive has been known
they're weird.
To ruin people's careers and pages and businesses, and they go in. Because same thing happened when they thought the girl Becky with the long hair, Becky with the good hair, what's her name? That white girl that they allegedly thought that was the Becky.
They thought she was a few people. They thought it was Dame Dash's ex-wife at one point. They thought it was the girl that plays Harley Quinn.
But they literally just loaded that shit up with bees.
Yeah, they always use Carrie Hilson as an example.
Load that shit up with bees. And so my thing is,
load that shit up with bees.
They just load that shit up, and that shit obvious to me. It's clearly people are just trying to make a statement. Don't mess with our queen.
Don't mess with Beyonce.
But that's childish. And if I were to never heard of Trick Daddy's restaurant and I see all these bees, I'd be like, oh, he must have said some shit about Beyonce. Okay. You can't even take the shit serious.
You can't even take it serious. And somebody wrote one of the comments was like, the food was dry. I asked for extra gravy. They gave me a big bucket of old fish oil. And he can't even sing. Like, this is what And
then they was like, oh my God, so disgusting, so unclean. But the lemonade was fire. Beef.
Yeah, I saw that. It's like
so annoying.
I feel like these better be children. The women and men that go berserk for Beyonce's and for Nicki Minaj's, you better be under fucking 18 years old, because it is pathetic. It's crazy.
They got time.
The extent that you guys go to for these celebrities that do not know you. And I'm sure they appreciate the way you stand for them. But it's just like, I feel like, can't none of my friends do no shit like that. I'm going to really be like, so this what you do in your spare time?
I put a beat. Yep.
You put bees on people pictures?
I put a beat.
You need to find a book, a hobby. Do something.
Like my friends.
Yeah, Greg, they got to be on payroll. I was like, I hope Beyonce got y'all on retainer for the way you guys are doing that. And I think it's also important to talk about, well, I guess it's evidence since they allegedly did it to Carrie Hilson, who still does what she hasn't come out with music in a long time, but she can sing and she can act. She's been acting a lot more and she's slowly kind of making her way back out. And her comment was kind of on some hater shit, to be honest. Carrie Hilson's comment was on lines of
another
have kids now, something like that, and like leave it to us or something. And that did sound a little bitter. Bitch.
Fucking reach.
You get what you get.
Yes.
You get what you get. It was a little bitter. But even in her situation, like you having an opinion, I guess that's fair. I was gonna say you having an opinion, it could technically just like tank your career, but technically that's always been the case. TV hosts, anybody that has an opinion on something, if it's not favorable or if it's deemed inappropriate or if it's rude or whatever, your fucking career is in jeopardy.
Depending on who you said it, because
Will
Smith did that to the first Aunt Viv. And they just had a special on HBO of him apologizing and him not knowing what his clout actually, how far his clout actually went. He ruined this lady's career. He was like, she's hard to work with. That's the worst thing you can say about a Black woman in the 90s, especially in that industry.
And her demeanor didn't help either, because she was very like, no, him and Jay don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like she was snapping. So she
and she said he's a child and he's unruly and he just can't. So she was like, being on set, being a grown ass woman on set with a child who does not follow the script and does and goes how he pleases, because he owns the shit. So he was acting like he was owning the shit. You know what I'm saying? And so she was like, day by day, little things would happen. So I can only imagine being a grown-ass woman and having to have a boss that is 19, literally floating around this bitch like untouchable and coming in whenever he wants to. And he apologized for all that shit. He was like, I was young, man. I didn't know professionalism. I didn't know, like, he would be carrying on and joking when bitches is serious. So this is a grown-ass fucking woman who got bills and kids. Shit is not funny all the time.
Shit is not funny today, William.
I totally understood her frustration at that point and why she probably became a bitch. I'm sure she started off like that. Goddamn. But that show had been running for a very long time before she was off of it. Yeah. So, you know, it's just, you just never know what you can say or do to someone that could possibly end their career or set them back, you know, because of a moment, of a glimpse, of I don't know, a slight argument. I don't know. But Beyonce doesn't have to do anything because these fucking bees of hers.
They found a clip.
Way.
You could tell it's old, but just by how it looks. And so she was like, you know, she doesn't really stay on the internet too much because it'll drive her crazy, you know, to read all the comments. She's like, but my fans. And then everybody in the audience is like, yes, B! And she was like, my fans, you know, they go crazy. Like, sometimes I'm just like, take it down. But, you know, she's like, her fans go crazy. And Nicki Minaj has been accused of like sicking her fans on people. And I do think she does. Nicki has she got
pettiness to her. I can see that.
Yeah, so she's been accused of doing that, sicking her fans on people. They finding bitches' phone numbers, leaking people's addresses, and these are also other celebrities, right? So she allegedly did some shit like that with Cardi. That was like the allegation that she got them to get Cardi's phone number and like release Cardi's phone number, and they was beefing. Imagine how fucking annoying that is. You famous as fuck, and your phone's ringing every 5 minutes. It's random bitches. It's Cardi. You know, so I just feel like
oh Lord, here's another one.
What?
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel like it's terrible how much time people have on their hands and how much they obsess over stuff. But I think that does show, that shows the power of celebrity. And just to try off on that, I watched a document. It's two different documentaries about the Fire Festival. So if you never heard of the Fire Festival, it's a festival that some white guy was hosting, and he got Ja Rule to partner with him.
Oh yeah.
Ja Rule was doing it. So it was a fire festival, and it was like a fire app, and it was supposed to be like basically equivalent to Coachella. It was supposed to be a big deal. Shit was completely flopped. Like as a luxury, everything it was like FEMA tents that they had out there, the food that they claimed they were gonna have. It was none of that shit. It was just really, really bad. But they had very famous people promoting it. So that's what got it so much hype. And then the fallback of it was the white guy behind it, the money guy behind it. He wasn't, it was like borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. So I'm gonna borrow from Micah so I can pay Leah, and then in order to borrow from somebody else to pay Leah back and then pay Micah. He was just getting deeper and deeper in the hole. It's like the night before. Nothing's ready. All of the acts kept dropping out. So all of that was just, they kept saying, I watched the first one. There's one on Hulu and there's one on Netflix. I fell asleep on the Netflix one, so I'm gonna go back and watch it. But it's just disgraceful. How it's very like American Greed. If you guys ever watched the show American Greed, it comes on either Investigative Discovery or MSNBC or one of those channels, something like that. But it's a great show just about people who find ways to do very sneaky shit, embezzlement and blah, blah, blah. And this guy ended up getting locked up for some shit. The FBI got a hold of him. He was lying and stealing money and all type of shit. But in his case, he was able to get a few celebrities. Like Kylie Jenner was one of them that posted it. And that shit went like sky high. And even when there's multiple people coming out saying, this shit doesn't make sense. There's no way they can do this. This money doesn't add up. They were still just overcoming it all because they kept getting celebrities to say something to make it work. I mean, just a pyramid scheme above all. And what's so funny is in watching it and watching Ja Rule, even on some of the interviews Ja Rule had, and it was like, so Ja, tell us about the Fire Festival. He politely passed it over to the guy because he didn't know shit about it for real. He was happy that he put his name on something that seemed like it was going to be very good. It promised to be a very wonderful party. It just never came to fruition. So it seems like he was just happy to tack his name to some shit. And then when it went to hell, he was like, look, I don't want no parts of this. And he really didn't get in trouble because he didn't do shit. It was the other guy. But that's just another, thing of you just wanting to be involved in some shit so bad. You done got mixed up in fuckery, and now look at you looking sick out here. 50 Cent had a field day with this shit. And when it came out, I was dying. 50 Cent dragged his ass for months for lying about that damn Fire Festival. But that just shows the celebrity of something and how much power influence does really have. And they were saying that that's the main thing everybody learned from that Fire Festival shit, that celebrity really is something. I don't know what the obsession is with Kardashian and the Jenners, but they love these bitches, and the moment they say something, it just takes it off. I think we've talked about it before. What's the one broke up with the Jamaican one again? Tristan, his lying ass. She done broke up with him again. So I'm like, all right, well, good luck, sis.
Did he have a baby? Is that why they broke up? Yeah, it was another girl had a baby by him who came out of nowhere.
Once I heard he was Jamaican, I was like, oh, well.
Oh, Tristan.
Oh, you.
Oh, Tristan.
Making you. All right, anywho. On to next things, Michael B. Jordan. So Michael B. Jordan getting dragged like hell because he is starting a new rum business, and he named it Juver, or Juve really, but it's spelled like Juver. He named it Juve. So that's like the cultural thing with the paint and blah blah blah. So he has been getting cussed the fuck out nonstop, and it's just the appropriation, the cultural appropriation. And I think Nicki even posted it, and Nicki was like, Michael B. Jordan didn't do anything on purpose that he thought would have offended a whole culture of people, right? So now that he knows, he just needs to make the adjustment. I don't know. I mean, I feel like,
how is that?
I'm trying to find the balance here, but I think it could also fall along the lines of Juve is perfectly fine by itself. It's known for what it's known for, right? So as what's her name? Nicki being a Trini person, Carnival is very fucking big in Trinidad, obviously.
Right.
Her being an island person, me being Jamaican, we know what Juve is, all that stuff. So I felt like it could have been in reverence, like just trying to be, I don't know, maybe he's appealing to the island. I get the upset, but he didn't do it in a malicious way. And that's why I feel like the way he's being dragged for filth is like, what is it that we're upset? What is it that we're upset with?
So is there a commercial or a slogan that has anything to do with the island and where the origination of Juve? Like, is it just like, I feel like it's
Oh,
just,
did he do like a commercial or something?
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm trying to find, it can't be appropriation. It's because it's
It can be because he's not from an island.
it doesn't matter. It's the word that means something. But okay, not that it doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is, I would need more to say that he's either appropriating or whatever the case is. Like Nikki said, I'm sure he didn't mean to do that, but Juve is a festival that people come together and just dance and throw paint, right?
It's a part of Carnival, yeah.
So he named a rum based on a very lit Caribbean party. Who would get credit for that?
What do you mean?
Who is Juve? Is that in someone's name? Is that a historical?
I don't think so. It means something, like it's French. So it means,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it means something. Like something about like daylight or some shit. Because
that's what I'm saying. So I'm thinking about words like carpe diem, c'est la vie, like things like that. Like that's a phrase, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking Juve is like, obviously I know it's a party and people throw paint, but I'm thinking it's like, I don't know, kind of like Carnival. Like that's a traditional thing. So like we have Carnival cruise.
I don't think so. I have to look up his reasoning behind choosing that, like why he decided.
I would need more.
Yeah, why he's choosing to do that. But I don't think, I'm not offended by it. Like I can understand you not wanting someone to just kind of use your culture as something else, because we essentially do that as Black people all the time. We don't like when white people do that. We don't like when other cultures do that. So I think it's kind of the same. And you have a tendency to try to separate themselves from African Americans. You know, Jamaicans like call themselves Jamaicans. Haitians like call themselves Haitians. Bahamians like call themselves Bahamian. You know what I'm saying? I guess they probably don't claim American like that. I do, because I am American. So I don't think he made anything by it. I think he just thought it was a good idea. Or probably just maybe
people love Juve.
Yeah, maybe he had a great time and wanted to just name it after something that he knows is a good time.
Yeah.
But they're not happy about it. I want to understand, and I feel like I do to a certain extent. And I think, I'm guessing the only reason is because he's not island in any type of way. You're picking this name just because of the popularity that will come behind it, and it's like you're not affiliated with this in any type.
But if you think about it, we live in South Florida, and there's a lot of Caribbean people down here. It is not a lot of Caribbean influence around the world, not in America at least. Like I feel it's slowly picking up, but soca and reggae and all that was not playing in Tallahassee when I was in school. It just wasn't.
But that's just Tallahassee.
I understand that, but I'm just saying, if we're talking about America as a whole, like I feel like the Caribbean are just starting to get popular or get more, I don't know, like cultural recognition, to be honest, because I didn't see a lot. I live in Florida. That shit is everywhere around me. Like I'm used to that. When I go to Dallas, there's nothing that has anything to do with Caribbean anything. And so that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking about an American thing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, but that's the thing. You're thinking about it from your standpoint, which is true in your case, but that's not the case for everywhere. Like me and Cookie, or me and Susie, one of us was talking about it, and like Dexter Daps, he got booked. It was somewhere in Texas, but it was like, I forgot where it was, but it was like Wichita. It was just like a random place. And it's like, what the fuck is the Jamaican population over there that his ass is going there? But it was a sold out show. So that's the thing. It's like you looking at me trying to find like trap soul or some shit like this. This is not music I listen to. This is not something that I culturally have. So I wouldn't notice this so much. When you lived in Tallahassee, island music wasn't your thing at all. You're way more Jamaican now.
I know DJs that I know. There's nothing in Tallahassee that's Caribbean until now.
But even what's his name said it. Loose Kid said it. He said there were parties then, you just didn't know about them because you didn't go to them.
Right.
Can't assume that it's just getting popular now. It's probably being more popular to you now. But there's so many Jamaican cultures. There's so many things that shit that we have here was inspired by that. So it's been around for the longest. There was one Jamaican video. My mom always talked about that lady, and I never remember her name because she was before my time. But she was like, girl, her and Tupac used to be in videos all the time together. And I saw it and I was like, what? And this is who Lady Saw learned from. This is who Spice learned from. But sis was in motherfucking LA with Tupac. She was a Tupac driving around in a whatever the fuck. So for me, it's one of those things where, because I feel it now, I feel it even more now talking about it. Jamaican music and island music or whatever. Carnival is, soca music is big as fuck in many ways. It's just, for me, I was even like, I don't even like this shit. I'm getting into it now. But soca takes off wherever the fuck it may be at. You know what I mean? And there's a carnival everywhere. New York has its own fucking carnival. Like Atlanta has its own fucking carnival. Orlando has its own fucking carnival.
Caribbean people there. That makes sense to me.
True, but that's what I'm saying. That's been the case for a while. So I just learned about it, but that's the case for a while. They've been doing that shit.
Right.
I heard it's a little violent.
Yeah.
New York was a little rough.
But I was just saying the population of Caribbean people where it is in the region, there's not a lot of, and I know I didn't go to these parties, totally understand that, but if we can name 5 states right now that we know are Caribbean, like heavily Caribbean influenced, shit, Canada. Goddamn, we've been hearing about Jamaicans being in Canada since forever. They just go to Canada, they go to Florida. You know, even Bahamians, they come to Florida, like straight.
New York. Apparently it's New York. It's more their ass in New York. I don't know why it's cold.
New York has always been a Caribbean thing. It's always been like a melting pot thing. Everybody fucking goes to New York. So there's like 5 states we can name out of all of the 51 that we have. And I'm thinking about Caribbean influence, and a lot of people are Caribbean, and it's culturally accepting, and it's kind of like, it's not necessarily American wide, it's just region wide. That's what I was trying to get at. Like, I feel like for Michael B. Jordan, he's from Philly. Where he from? I feel like he's from Philly or some.
That sounds right for some reason.
I think
sure.
So if we think about what he listened to, and you said The Assumption, he went to a Juve party. He was like, "Wow, this is amazing."
Maybe he went and had a good time.
Like that, because if I'm thinking about his influence, I'm pretty sure there's not a lot of Caribbean influence around. He just, I don't know. I could be judging.
And then we assuming, what if his mama?
It could be. I don't know. But my thing, he's black. He's black, and we're all black. And if we're falling under this black whatever, and not subcultures of where people were born or whatever the case is, he's black. It's still a part of his culture in some way. Like you said, his mama could be whatever the fuck, or his granny could be whatever the fuck, you know? Me not going to these places because that wasn't my thing at that time. Like you said, doesn't mean it wasn't going on. But if I'm blind to some shit, I have no idea it's happening. So then that makes me innocent. That doesn't make me ignorant. It makes me innocent, because what's around me is.
But it does technically make you ignorant, because the definition of ignorance is the ability to know these things and just not looking at.
The ability to know, not necessarily. You didn't know.
But that's what I'm saying. To me, ignorant gets a bad thing. Ignorant doesn't automatically just mean you just dumb as fuck and didn't check. You get what I'm saying? It just means you.
But you said the ability to know is what ignorance means, right?
Yes, the ability to find out. So just because you didn't see it, you can still find that out if you look that up. You didn't look that up because that's not in your realm. That's the point of ignorance. That's what ignorance means. So when people give it like, oh, well, you ignorant, that's not, people use it wrong a lot. That's my point. But yes, you're right. In his case, I agree the same thing. I think he probably, that's all I'm assuming. I don't know what his reasoning for, but he realized that did a group of people, and he had to kind of take that off. And somebody, whoever wrote that long ass message that Nicki Minaj reposted, I didn't read all of it when I was typing it up, but that person went off just about it not being okay that he picked that. So Nicki defended him, but while saying, now that you know better, do better. And to me, yeah, and it's his response to it, or his action to it, reminds me of Mulatto and the shit she got for her name. She claimed, she had a whole explanation as to why she picked that, but that name has a very hurtful background, right? That's hurtful, different than a cultural thing, but that's not how she took it. You know, she either was called that, she said she was called that a lot when she was younger, and it
makes sense, because that's
what it was, right? And she was trying to rebrand it. This is like, what's his name?
Like nigga.
Yeah, like nigga, like that, like whatever.
Right.
We don't. To me, I don't think we definitely shouldn't be on some let's cancel him type shit.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think they're like that, but they did motivate.
What was his response?
He's gonna change it too. I don't know. I saw him apologize. I just don't know what his reasoning was.
Oh.
I don't have my iPad. I don't know. I can't check it. It's on the show.
It wasn't. I'm thinking
It
he got
wasn't with malicious
dragged.
intent.
I'm thinking he got dragged because this nigga literally was like, "The rum is what the rum is," and he deaded it. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was just like everybody was going on and on and on, and he finally said something. And it was an asshole comment. That's what I think would cause for a cancellation. But yeah, I don't know.
Did. All right. Well, next.
I hope not. He don't seem like the person that'll do that.
He really doesn't. He doesn't
I
give
don't
us
know him.
vibe. So this we don't have to discuss it much, but it's the point I want to make. So there's a guy, I didn't write his name down, but that black guy that was defending himself in court. That he was yelling at the juror and just doing the most and all this shit. So I remember looking at this and his hair alone, like he had what they call
Dade County bunks.
He had those. They look terrible. Google them. And he had those in his head. And he's there yelling out, basically reenacting anything he's ever seen on fucking Law and Order or something like that. And it was all fun and games until you understand what the fuck he's on trial for. I can't hear anything.
That we talked about this last week.
What he's in trouble for? Mm-hmm. My point is he got guilty on Monday. He just got found guilty on Monday.
Oh, okay. I was trying not to. Okay.
Yes, that's what he got guilty for. But I think, again, I want to stress how funny this is and how comical it was or whatever until you realize what the fuck he got arrested for. He got arrested for killing his girlfriend and killing his daughter and stabbing his fucking son. Like, this is what he got arrested for. And so he did get found guilty, which nobody's surprised. I didn't look up how long they deliberated, but I'm sure it didn't take very fucking long. No. For that to get him, because it's like, nigga. So I think this is a prime example of me as a black woman saying very clearly that this black man is trash as fuck. He deserves to be locked up, and I'm happy he got found guilty of what he did. I think I even heard when I was listening to it, I think he admitted to basically saying, yes, he did kill them or something like that, but it's not, but if you're gonna tell the story, tell all the facts. Like I can't even take him seriously. But he did get found guilty. I don't know. Killing your kids has to be a thing. It's close to pedophilia and that type of shit. So I hope they beat him up or something in prison a little bit. But he's ridiculous. It's just, and then with his hair cut off, he looks so evil to me. Like he had on a really ugly, obviously he's upset he's going to prison, but his demeanor was just so whatever. He looked better with the brush cut, but he looked so dark in the eyes. And I just feel like, I'm just happy they locked him up. He was found guilty. Who knows what he's going to get sentenced as, but whatever. And then now I feel like I have to talk about this because I just watched it. So there's this show on Hulu called Accused, right? So it's like a hour-long episode per each one or something like that. And it finally got to this one black girl where she got arrested for something light, like a parking ticket or some shit, whatever. And when they fingerprinted her fingerprint matched a 10-year-old cold case of a murder. And at the time she was 13. And I wish I remember what state this was, but she basically got tried and she got sentenced to 60 years. So at this point now, this is 13, so this is 10 years later. She's 23, she has 2 kids, 2 very young kids. Her mom was never in her life, her mom was in prison, so I was like, oh Lord, the cycle continues. And then it seems like it's some weird shit. And I'm watching her like, do I believe that she wasn't there, had nothing to do with it? And how they got her was her fingerprint was on the tape that was like on the sticky side of the tape across the man's mouth. It's an old black man that was covered. And it was so sad how he died. Rest in peace to the old man. His nickname was Cookie or whatever his name was. They called him Cookie around town. And her name was Angela. Her last name starts with a B. I looked her up after that because I felt so crazy. It's like she was 13. So let's just say we agree that she really was there and involved in this crime at 13. She's 13. This is a big ass old man. So it's not like she's obviously able. She was arrested.
She didn't do it alone.
Yeah, they tried her with another guy who they found not guilty. And the only reason why he was accused is because some jailhouse snitch said, oh yeah, Micah said she did it. Or Micah, the guy said he was going to do it. He said he was going to tape him up. And that's how the guy ended up dying like the next day. So the guy who they're saying did it, he got tried and he wasn't found guilty. And he was let go or he was already serving time or something else. But she now got 60 years because of something she allegedly did when she was 13. And I feel like this can't be right. I feel like this can't be right. And I felt like I knew enough about the law, I guess, to where you're tried at whatever age you were at that time. But if she was 13 and she got tried, she would have went to like juvie, or she would have went to something else. You get what I'm saying? It wouldn't have been prison for 60 years. And now all this time later is prison for 60 years. And in the same show, I watched another episode. Another episode was of a white guy. He was a grown man and he crashed head on with some people in another lane. And they were trying to insinuate that he was on his phone, he was texting, which honestly seems very likely. But it's kind of like one of those things where he's going straight and he literally swerved all the way in this other lane. Head first. These cars were on fire, Micah, like completely on fire, destroyed. And he came out, some good Samaritans kind of stopped and pulled him out. But an older man died and his son was like fucked up for a really long time. And he got off. And so it's kind of like, okay, these crimes are very different. Get it? They're both murder, but one is obviously probably negligence on the guy's part. The other one, they're accusing her of crime, but she was 13. And I feel like if she was 13 and she was a kid, she's a teenager. This is reminding me of When They See Us, like the five guys in the park who didn't do shit at all. But it's reminding me of them where it's like, when you're kids, you get tried as kids. And even if they're just figuring out now that she did it, it can't be okay for you to do that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like, and every state has their own laws and how long you can, what's the phrase? Statute of limitations. Everywhere has a statute of limitations of how long you can try somebody for a crime or whatever. But it's like, she clearly couldn't have done this herself. She's saying she was never there. Her grandfather knew the guy. He fixed things. So they're saying the duct tape could have easily got over there because she used to be in the garage with him all the time doing shit with duct tape. Like, it was a thing. The grandfather testified that, yes, she was always there and she did that. So he could have easily just lent it to Cookie or something, or left it over at Cookie's house, or Cookie took it, whatever, the guy that died. And this is how it happened. But I don't know. I feel like it's such an injustice that she was given 60 years, 10 years after a crime that they're saying she committed that we know she couldn't have committed herself. She was fucking 13. This was an older, grown-ass man that would have been able to get away from her. Like, he was tied up at his ankles, around his waist, around his mouth. He ended up suffocating. That's how he died, which is very sad. They covered his nose and his mouth. So he died, and it's a very brutal death, and it's really sad. But I was like, she couldn't have did this shit on her own. How do you just slap 60 fucking years on somebody? And to me, it's because she black. And I'm sorry, but I feel like,
close the case too.
yes, and it's close. It's like, yeah, she did it. She was 13. She was 13. And we just gonna check it up till she had to have done this all by herself, or even if she had help, because she's a liar and she's denying it. We gonna.
So what happened to? So you said they both got tried when she was 13.
Yes. No, they got tried as now her as a grown woman.
So the case came back. So she
got arrested recently for like a ticket or something. Recently.
Go ahead.
Yes, her fingerprints. They had the fingerprint in the system from back then, but they had no match to it. 10 years later, when they fingerprinted her for being arrested for whatever it was, her fingerprint matched the tape from that murder. And this is why she's being tried. And the guy who, there's a whole other grown ass man.
But he's not guilty.
But he's found not guilty. But the only accusation against him was a jailhouse snitch saying he said he was going to do it. So they don't have his DNA anywhere. He don't know the girl. She don't know the nigga. He got off and she's in prison and she got 60 years.
Yeah.
Pause. There's 9 other fingerprints on the house that is not the man who died. It's not his wife. It ain't none of their kids or nothing. And it's not the girls or anybody else's. So who the fuck are these 9 people? You get what I'm saying? We don't check none of this shit and we just take a mother away from her young fucking kid. It bothered me.
Yeah.
I feel like that can't be justice in any type of way. I signed a petition to reach out.
In America. That's that bullshit.
I feel so bad for her. And it was like, and it's fucked up because I'm okay, what if she did do it? But even if she did do it, I feel like 60 years is still crazy. Like, people get.
But black people are always falsely, they're overly charged.
All the time.
They do. Like, literally, a weed offense of having, like, what, 40, I don't know, 40 ounces.
A weed.
You'll get 10 years. Easy. Easy. Get 10 years for some weed. So they've been known to be doing it in every fucking state, to be honest. It's just, yeah, it's ridiculous. And then fucking Meek Mill, motherfucker was on probation for 9 years or some stupid shit. Probation? Who the fuck is on probation for what? That's fucking dumb. Like, just hearing how long you're on probation. Probation is a period of time that you have to prove yourself a worthy citizen to get off probation. This is not a fucking jail sentence, my nigga. Like, it's crazy. But we get over sentenced every time.
Yeah, we get over sentenced crazy, and they had no sympathy at all for her. And just in 60 years, I felt terrible because it showed you the inside of them having to have the conversation with her lawyers. And so her lawyer was just like, okay, you know, we're gonna do our best, and we feel very confident about this, but we have to talk about, because when she was found guilty, she immediately gets locked up, right? It's not you get to go back home and say goodbye and get your affairs in order. So you have to get your affairs in order ahead of time. And that, I guess, is probably why I'm so sympathetic to it, because she had two little girls. Two, like, they both probably like 4 and 2, like they were young. So you have to prep before you even go to court about who's gonna take my fucking kids.
How do you even know what's gonna happen? You don't even know. They found your fingerprint on some random shit.
And that's what her lawyer was saying. It was a white woman, and she was crying when it happened. She was just like, how do I even go home and like hug my kids tonight, knowing that she's got 60 years for some shit? She's like, we should all be afraid. So she even did it in there when she pulled out the tape and she touched it. She's like, you pull some tape, it's too long, you hold it, you rip that bitch, or you bite it open, and she closes. It's like, my hand is on this tape now. If this tape is found at the crime scene of some shit, I'm locked up for 60 years. I'm automatically there, and I automatically killed somebody.
Yeah, 60 years is ridiculous.
That's crazy to me. And that's the only evidence they have, Micah. The man they tried, her evidence wasn't, her fingerprints weren't anywhere else. Her fingerprints were just on the tape. And it's not to say that she couldn't have been there, she couldn't have did it, but she says she wasn't there. The wife knows, the old man's wife knows her just as a kid in the neighborhood, but she was a kid. You know what I'm saying? So it's not saying 13-year-olds can't
but then Black people get falsely accused. All that. You see, Bill, it's the movie is called Beale Street, and it was basically about being at the wrong place at the wrong time with the right racist police officer. Yeah. That's all it really takes. And if I walk past you and I grab your wife's ass because I can do that, I'm a white male and I'm a cop, what the fuck you gonna do about it? He jumped at him and was like, sir, like, what are you doing? Like, that's my wife, respect her, blah, blah, blah. So it was a robbery, and the guy was running one way, and he and his wife was running the other way. He remembered that nigga got slick with him, and he got him in jail. And because he was on the scene of the crime, he went to jail for life. Because the one of the clerks one of the robbers end up killing the man behind the shit. And he got locked up for life. I thought that movie was going to go very differently. I was very, very upset to see
how it ended?
Yeah, the nigga got for life. His son came to see him. His wife ended up being pregnant. I thought it was going to be a love story. It was so fucking sad. So it's like, you see time and time, even with Martin Lawrence and goddamn Eddie Murphy, that life shit. Prime fucking example.
Yeah, they made it comical.
Does it matter?
Fucked up.
Does it matter? But one of these monkeys got locked up, blah, blah. They don't give a fuck. Close the case. All these niggas the same anyway, so let's just lock them up.
And she was I think she was the only, she's the one I remember the most, because I just felt like her story was exceptionally fucking sad. And I just felt like that wasn't enough to convict her. And then there were so many other things that all the other stories I heard, I was judging it based off, okay, let me see how they handle this white lady. Let me see how they handle this white man. Let me see how they handle this Black girl. And I was very sympathetic to her. And so her lawyer, I think the most, interesting thing the lawyer said in this is we all should be scared. And I think obviously Black people, I wish they made race a bigger deal in her case, because they should have, but they didn't. And I don't remember what state they were in, but I know enough about Florida state. Like, Florida is one of those states, if you get life, it's life. It's not like even like Jamaica, life isn't life in Jamaica. If you get life, you have to serve a minimum of 35 years in many cases before you can be eligible for parole, but it's not actually life. But to be fair, 35 years is a long fucking time. That's what Vybz Kartel is going through, Free World Boss. So in that case, here though in Florida, you get life, that's it. It's a dub. Yeah, it's not coming out. And there's no possibility of parole. You're just there forever unless you win an appeal or some shit like that. And in her case, they're trying to get a retrial of it because, again, I feel like it was tried. There's so many things that would just get her case tossed out. But it's kind of like the luck of the draw. It's not like she had, not to diss her lawyers, but these are probably just like court appointed or state appointed or whatever, government appointed lawyers. There probably aren't lawyers that she could afford to pay for. Since was a single mom with 2 kids, she didn't have it like that to afford, the real deal lawyers that were going to get her out. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I'm sorry. I just want to be careful, y'all. Shit's getting weird. All right. Kodak Black. Kodak Black is in trouble. Tell me if you think this is offensive or not. He got a plane like a helicopter. It's in Kobe's colors. Like he had on Kobe's jersey, and he got a helicopter that's in the color of purple and yellow and blah, blah, blah. Obviously, Kobe, his daughter, and a bunch of other people passed away earlier last year in the plane crash. So everyone's saying this is completely distasteful. They dragging him. What do we think? Mind you, he's a fan of Kobe.
It could be reverence.
Bought himself this plane, if somebody gave it to him, but
it's reverence. I guess I'm not.
Some Black person wrote, it was a tweet, and they were just like, this is not disrespectful when this man and his daughter and 7 other people died in a plane crash. You niggas need to think. So this was a nigga saying we niggas need to think. So I understand where it's a little distasteful. But I do think it's kind of like Michael B. Jordan. He's not doing this. Kodak has a lot of moments of
his thing is he's probably remembering. He was like, man, when I get in this helicopter, man, that's fucked up how Kobe went down, man. And Gigi, what the fuck? Paint this shit green, motherfucker, purple and gold, bro. Like exactly like that. I want to ride in a helicopter.
Exactly like that.
I think it's an angel. The fuck, like he probably was snapping on some. I gotta remember my dog type shit. If I'm gonna be in the helicopter, I'm gonna make sure his number on that bitch. This is a reverence thing. This is what I get. This is a respect thing. This is an honorary thing. I don't know.
I understand both sides, but I'm siding with he's doing this in reverence. He talked about how much he loved.
Why would he?
He's a fan. Who isn't, right? Even people who didn't like Kobe have to respect Kobe. The man was amazing at what he did. So I do think it's in reverence, but there is a question about like everything doesn't have to be symbolized in this way. He hasn't passed away for very long. Kodak isn't just a random nigga on the side of the street. He is a celebrity at this point. So we got to think about how this type of shit affects his other children that are still here, mainly his oldest daughter, his firstborn. How this affects his wife, how this affects his parents, his sister. This could bother them. This could be triggering for people. So it's kind of like a combination of, I agree with that part. We have to be more sympathetic to the fact that this isn't just somebody that we like so much and we hold in reverence. This was a son. This was a father. This was a husband. This was somebody. So it's like, imagine just seeing shit like that flying around. I don't know what that would feel like, but that could fuck her up.
So remember when Biggie and Tupac's moms came together in the hood and everybody was like blasting their music? It was kind of like a unity. It's like after they died, their moms.
They did that for Nipsey too.
Right. And so when I'm thinking about Biggie's mom and Tupac's mom, they came together, they gave each other a hug. Like she said she was walking down the street and she saw so many people like wearing the do-rag that Tupac used to wear and how he used to wear it. Biggie's mom saw that he had certain shirts. It wasn't a memorial per se. It was like they came home for something to get and then this is what they came home to. All these people remembering their son. You know what I'm saying? And so what I'm thinking, they're like, oh, we love Biggie, we love Pac, we love blah, blah, blah. And I'm wondering if Kodak would have verbally said, I'm doing this because X, Y, and Z. Like, I miss Kobe so much, and this helicopter ride is, I don't know how he would word it, but for me in this case, it's like if you saw, I don't know, a helicopter with Kobe's number on it and the colors of his jersey, it's remembrance to me. That seems like a dove in the sky. That seems like a lantern being released. That, for me, that's what it seems like, because it's symbolic of us losing one of the greatest legends we had, basketball and even life-wise. So, obviously,
and understanding Kodak, you can make that assumption too. Like,
and Kodak is not the most sentimental nigga,
right?
He's
but
not.
This was sentimental,
but he loves Kobe Bryant.
Right.
And if we know that he loves Kobe Bryant, this was not, I don't know. There's no malicious, but I think he's getting dragged because they feel like it's insensitive of him. I think it's obvious. Like, I hope no one's saying he did this shit maliciously, but the one time I remember him. It's too soon. Is that what it is?
Maybe it's too soon. And the only people I think I saw that this wouldn't trigger me, but I'm thinking of his kid or I'm thinking of his mom. And then just even him doing this now, it's come up, it's in the tabloids or it's in the whatever. So now Vanessa got to see it. You know what I mean? Even if she wants to avoid it, it's going to come up. If she follows the Shade Room, it's on the fucking Shade Room, right? They post her enough. It's like that, bringing up.
You don't think she's another fan though?
Huh?
Do you think she would feel like here's another fan celebrating my husband? Do you think she would go there?
I think because, okay, going based off what she's been doing lately, she even said things like she doesn't want celebrities tagging her and shit when it comes to Kobe. It's just too much. It's too right. Don't tag me in birthday posts. Don't send me shit. Tell me happy anniversary. Like I have to deal with that already. So sis is in the space of I don't need you to remind me that my husband is dead. I know that. I deal with it every day. It's too much for her, it seems like.
Don't tag me.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this bothers her in that way. And then even though it's not him trying to be a dick, because how would you get that out of this? Yeah, how would you get that out of this? I think it may be insensitive as far as she's concerned, right? And he has a reputation of just saying insensitive shit. He said insensitive shit to Lauren when Nipsey died. But like you said, he's not a very sentimental nigga. He a nigga. Like
he doesn't not a thinker.
Yeah, he's
not a thinker.
Yeah, so it's up for debate. I get it, but I agree with you. I definitely don't think he did any of this maliciously, but it's like it could be too soon. Read the room, Kodak. This maybe not be the best bet. The man died in a helicopter with his child and everything else. It's kind of like I don't know. There's something cringy about it.
Tacky. That's what I get. I get tacky. I get classless. This is Kodak fucking Black from Pompano, Florida. You know what I'm saying? This nigga's tacky as fuck. Like they wear rest in peace shirts and free my nigga shirts. This is what they do as a form of reverence to their people. So if we're thinking about the culture of the hood, this was like the best thing he feel like he could have done for Kobe.
You literally saved his whole argument right there. I completely forgot that. They do put their niggas on shirts all the time. It's
rest in peace.
Yeah.
Free my nigga.
Free my nigga or rest in peace. Yeah.
I love you, bro. Can't wait. You're down. You just jump like what? This is their culture. It's tacky though. It's tacky. It's a very tacky thing to do. But this is how they honor the people who have died. This is how they honor the people that they have locked up.
Yeah.
You can't put Kobe on a shirt. You gotta put that nigga on a helicopter.
Yeah, because he's Kobe.
Because he's tacky.
You're right. Oh, I gotta send this to Kodak. I'm like, Micah saved you, bro. Use that. Damn, bro. Micah saved you, bro.
And his fucking, he ain't got no fucking team. They just let him do whatever the fuck he want.
They definitely let him do whatever the fuck he want.
He don't have no
team. He don't consult with nobody. And
they probably have a meeting. He probably don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm finna do it.
Kodak. And walks out. All right. So Nick Cannon had an interview recently, and he basically said, to sum it up, the reason why he's having all these kids is because he's sick. You know, I think he has, is it sickle cell or lupus or something like that. He has one of those diseases that have been giving him hell for a while. And his logic is, I'm gonna die soon. I could die at any minute. So I'm having all these kids.
So you're gonna have all these kids and then leave them?
That's everyone's comment. That's everybody said exactly that in the comments. So nigga, you gonna leave all these kids fatherless?
It's just selfish. That's all. It's just selfish. It's just fucking selfish.
I'm trying to think.
You just want a reason for your fucking loose dick ass ways.
Because that's the thing. Nick Cannon is like
what it is, bruh.
Late 30s or something like that. Mid 30s, late 30s. He's a little bit older than us, I think. So you ain't do none of this dick slanging in your 20s, where I guess it made a little more sense. Like the way he's having children, it's like you're doing this deliberately, right? You get what I'm saying? Like it's hard to make children. I don't know if people get that. The way people be getting pregnant, this isn't a very easy thing to do, right? Everything has to come together at the right time for a sperm to fertilize the damn egg, right? So he's not missing. He's not missing. He fucking everybody raw, everybody getting kids. And a lot of them are like biracially looking or something like that. A lot of them, like, none of them look like me. I'm just out there, but whatever. So he's. I hear you, but it's like, do you want like the canon name to like live on? Is that what it is? Because I think his mom only had one kid, right? Or she was gonna. I know she was gonna have an abortion, and she ended up keeping him. So maybe he feels like this is his way of, you know.
No, I don't know why rich people do what they do. He bored. And I feel like in his 20s, he was building his empire. He didn't have time to sling dick.
But he got time today.
He's 40 years old right now.
He's 40?
So he's like, you know what?
I'm finna fuck everybody.
I'm about to have as many kids as I can bear.
Girl, somebody tweeted, I saw it today, I think, or yesterday. It was like, girl, Mariah Carey ain't worried about Nick Cannon. She getting ready for Christmas. You know that Christmas album, Don't Miss. She come out with a Christmas and
I am dead.
She sing the same songs every fucking time. All right.
So funny.
Who pissing you off, Teddy? All right. Well, my take on it for Nick. Sorry, Nick. I understand the mortality of it all. I guess thinking about, damn, this is sad or whatever the case is. But I think a valid point of just leaving all these kids fatherless. They'll obviously be very well taken care of. He does have quite the empire and he does have a lot of money. And they will know who his father is. Like Nick Cannon is a staple, whether we respect him as a rapper or not. Nick Cannon is about his shit.
Fucking rapper.
I liked some of his songs. Gigolo is my shit. So I just feel like I don't know why everybody give him hell, but whatever. But it is a little weird to go that route on it. But I never really understood that path. So I just say it's not my cup of tea. These women are obviously signing up to be one of the many mothers of his children.
And to be taken care of for the rest of their life.
And I mean, if we're gonna be honest, I feel like
my child is gonna be taken care of.
That don't do shit. Like if I want a baby and Nick Cannon wants to give me a baby and I don't have to work,
I'm gonna take it.
I'm gonna have a fucking baby. Like let Nick Cannon call me right now. You know I need one more. Nick, like you want a baby? You know what? All right. Fuck, do it. I'll be like baby mama number 7. None of them are complaining. He takes very good care of his children. Comment. Oh, okay. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about is just we've been having a lot of situations lately I've been seeing a lot of situations lately. I guess Mike has to. I've been talking to her about it. So we've both been seeing a lot of situations lately where it seems like we're finding manipulation being used at its finest. And it's one of those things where I definitely never noticed it. And it'll be Micah to say some shit like, they've always done this. And then I'll be like, damn, they have always done this shit.
That shit hurt.
Okay, let's talk about the pain. When you kind of catch on to somebody that you hold in high regard, whether it be a friend, a lover, whatever, sister, family, whatever, that has actually been manipulating you into making you do things that they want you to do or feel ways they want you to feel. When you finally click onto that, the deception, it's vicious. It's a vicious situation. And I think the hardest part about all that is actually identifying that it's manipulation, because manipulators have a very good way of making you feel terrible about the manipulation that they're trying to do to you. For whatever reason, they flip that shit on you very well, reverse psychology, and you sit there feeling so lost and distraught, feeling like, damn, I really did some shit, until either it clicks for you or someone kind of shows you a pattern that they have. That you realize, oh my gosh, this motherfucker been playing with me this whole motherfucking goddamn time. The whole time. I've had that happen with a friendship recently. I've had that happen with a family member recently. And it seems like it may be happening with a friendship, not necessarily me, but just in general. And so it's, I'm trying to think about how I can tell y'all to spot manipulation. I'm not sure.
So my thing is, I feel like a lot of victims use manipulation. A lot of people who victimize their lifestyle, right? Everything is usually an attack on their person, right?
Mm-hmm.
They usually don't take responsibility for their actions. They usually have excuses and justifications for said actions. It's
Always.
always a fucking sad story, and not that
That's the punchline. They always have an explanation.
and not that these things are not happening to these people, but in the way that they use their pain to get what they want,
To justify why that, yeah.
Of it all, right? So you can easily get sucked into listening to sad story after sad story after sad story. And you get sucked in to not holding that person accountable for shit that they do, because your response is, but this person is always, and they just have such a hard life. And they just, so now this person gets off once again, floats into the abyss, doesn't leaves behind their shit, and for you to feel, and they projected all of this stuff onto you for whatever reason. But mostly it's gonna be a pattern, and you may not recognize it because you're in love, right? It could be like your best friend, it could be your boyfriend, it could be your mom. You are so in love with this person, and manipulation is it's a conniving, malicious trait to have. And not to say that those people, I kind of give them just a little bit of, I don't want to say leeway.
That's what I was thinking, leeway.
I give them just a little bit leeway because, like I said, these things are actually happening to them. They're not making this up. They're not lying and manipulating, right? They're actually using their pain to get what they want because that's what they've had to do, right? But I think on a larger scale, you would like to believe that the people who love you just as much as they say they do wouldn't need to do that to get what they need from you, right? Like, if you want me to be there for you, then you say that. If you want me to help you, if you want me to pick you up when you're down, like, this is it's really emotional. It's really support that these fucking people be needing. So it's kind of like, why do you have to coerce me into supporting you a way you want me to support you? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You want me to drop you want to be the top of my list. You want me to make you my top priority in everything. That's I don't know. It's an obsessive thing. And a lot of people do have that trait when it comes to that person. Like, you're my person, right? I want you above everybody. I don't want anybody on the same level. It has to be you. Some people are like that, and they don't want, no. I want this person to respond to me how I want this person to respond to me, because the way that they feel about you, because they admire you, they respect you. Like, it's very good things why they want you to be this person for them. But at the same time, it's kind of like they expect you also to be a mind reader. It's so many different tactical things, and that's why I feel like they're not, it's on purpose. It's malicious, because now you know how to maneuver and how to work this individual, because you've had to try so many different things, and now you got the best potion that works every fucking time. Like, you worked on that, and that's the malicious part about it.
Okay, because I'm feeling you right now. I'm feeling you vibing, because I was thinking, in the midst of you talking, I was thinking about the family member that I had this with recently enough. And right. So I was thinking their shit just kind of came out of nowhere, right? Because we've never gotten into it. It's never been a situation. But in listening to the way they manipulated this, I was all type of shit, because they called and asked me about something. I told them how I felt about it. They didn't like that I didn't agree with them, or I was agreeing with the other person in the situation. And then they start telling me all this crazy shit about myself, right? So that manipulation was a lot more obvious to
catch.
Yes, to spot, because it's just like, where the fuck is this coming from? You get what I'm saying? But even now thinking about it, I guess this is the epiphany moment I keep having in these, because the three people that I'm thinking of for this conversation, all three. And I can think of countless times that they've done the shit, not countless, but I can think of at least 2 times, 3 times a piece. that they have done this same manipulative shit, but I didn't even see it that way. Even in the family member that did it, they had a few situations where, and tell me if this don't sound familiar. Yo, I don't like the way our relationship been. It's like you don't fuck with me. It's like you don't love me. It's like, whatever. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? And they came to me like this, and I was like, yo, if you feel like it's weird, just call me. Like, if I think of one of y'all, I want to call y'all, I call y'all. I've gotten a lot better at that over the years. Hey, you all right? You okay? I sent a text or something. But for you to project all this weird shit on me, coming up with disagreements, and those two people sound very similar in the situation, coming up with beef that ain't there, assuming a bitch is mad at you about some shit not mad at you about, it's kind of like, okay, at what point do you feel like you need to go get that shit figured out? Because either you sick as fuck or you manipulative as fuck. You need to pick one. But I don't see a difference. Either you need help as fuck or you're manipulative as fuck. And either way, I cannot help you.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Right. So if any of this shit sounds familiar to any of you guys, I am very, very adamant. It's not your job to fix somebody. It's not your job to do that. Hats off to you if you want to try and help somebody, right? Like Micah's going through weird shit. Let's say Micah going through it, right? And I can't even use that because they don't even make it. I don't even understand. I think these people do it on purpose. Now I feel like it's on purpose.
Yeah. That's
what I'm very team. You know what the fuck you're doing. You're doing it on purpose. And I think it's a very douchebag thing of you to do to somebody that you supposedly care about, when you just finding manipulative ways to make them feel like shit about trying to be there for you the best way they know how. They're not therapists. People overlook this therapy thing so much, and it has such a negative connotation. And it's like, I think they give therapy and psychology or a psychiatrist and confused all the time. It's kind of like that, but it's like, if you're in my life and you're going through it, and I had a friend of mine call me the other day, and her situation was somebody that she talks to every single time they call her, it is a depressing ass conversation. Because somebody's passing away in their life. It's a sad thing. They're losing someone slowly to an illness, but every time they get on the phone, they sit there and they talk to them about it. And they're like, I feel so bad when I get off the phone with them. I'm so drained. I'm so like sucked dry, and I'm in a sad place after I talk to them. I said, sis, you got to tell them you don't want to talk about this shit no more. It's fun. I get it. But it's like, if you kill yourself in the process of trying to be there for somebody, what the fuck do you have left? You can't do that. You can't give what you don't have. If you don't have the ears to listen to that shit today, you don't have the ears to listen to it. And it doesn't make you a fucked up person for trying to protect your own fucking sanity. It doesn't make you a fucked up person. It doesn't make you a bad friend, a bad family member, a bad lover. It makes you human, and it makes you, self-preservation is all we have, my guy. So I feel like, do what you can when you can. But furthermore, if everything you come to me with is doom and gloom, and I'm giving you suggestions, because that's another thing too, manipulators, it seems, I guess, y'all want to be sad. Like, I thought you want to be sad, because there's no way you really are hurt by what the fuck is happening, and your option isn't to seek help in some type of way. And if you keep picking someone that don't know how to help you, if Micah is giving you all she got, what the fuck else is Micah gonna have for you? What else?
All you keep saying is but.
It's a lot of but. It's like, but bitch, don't you want to feel better?
And then it's like, well, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. One of our friends had to, like, she don't even talk to her anymore. It was best friend. But every time her best friend called her, it was just about how ungrateful, or a complaint about work, a complaint about her kid, a complaint about her mama, a complaint about her fucking dad, a complaining. What the fuck am I here for? I'm not your fucking friend. You don't ask me how the fuck I'm doing. Like, let's just get very real with a friendship. That shit is a two-way street, my nigga. You don't just keep taking and dumping on me. That's not what friends do. I'm sorry. And I think we have this very misunderstanding, this misconception of what friendship fucking is. It's not, I get to just take the abuse you give me, bitch. No, I should not be being abused in this friendship. And that is abuse. That is a form of abuse. You're constantly bringing me down. And no, you're not doing it on purpose, because you're a fucking miserable person. So that's totally different. If you are friends with a miserable person, I feel bad for you. Because that, you cannot help that person. They don't want your help.
Yeah.
You really don't. It's no shade to your friendship.
But it's what I just said to you. You come with problem after problem after problem, and I give you solution after solution after solution, and like you said, it's but okay, but you don't want to be helped. But
Yeah.
I'm very strong on. I have a child. I use my child for everything because she really is my saving grace for everything. Things really fuck with my mood. I am very easily irritated. I take a lot of shit personal, and if I'm mad about something, it fucks up my whole day. I cannot do this when I can't do this. And there is something to be said about calling your friends and just dumping all your shit on them.
All the time. What kind of friendship is that? Let's just be
That's
real.
weird. And you don't even sit there and consider what this person may have going on at the time when you call and you dump your shit on them. So this
that's what you're there for. You're my best friend because you're supposed to listen to me.
And this is where you, as the person that's getting shit dumped on you, needs to stand up for yourself and say how you feel, which is the advice I gave my homegirl. It was like, you need to tell them that we got to find another way to do this, because every time we get off the phone, it's like I'm just drained. Right. And to me, that's the worst fucking feeling, because then that's kind of how you work the rest of the day. You know what I mean? And then I keep going back to my child. Anybody that's going to affect my mood around my kid, I'm not going to fuck with you. Like it's a done deal. I'm not going to do. My kid doesn't deserve that. She deserves as bubbly as I can give, as happy as I can give, as attentive as I can give. Right. And then again, the bottom line is we all have our own shit going on personally. How selfish is it of you to just automatically assume the only thing Micah just lives and breathes? Let me call her and give her all my fucking drama today. Leah just wants to know that I'm depressed as fuck all the time. If that is the case, we can find ways to help. But I'm only going to offer that shit 1 or 2 times. And when you keep fucking giving it away, okay, bitch, well, we ain't talking about this no more. So
yeah, and then
find you somebody else.
And then I don't carry people shit with me, and then maybe that's the gift that I have. When I get off the phone with somebody, I'm not heavy. I'm all right because it's not my situation. I have empathy, and I sympathize with that person if I've either gone through it, if I've never gone through it. I'm a good listener. I'm a good consoler. Like I'm good at that. But I don't carry people shit with me, and not everybody can do that. And that's why everybody, and I think maybe because it comes off as, oh yeah, Micah can take it, because I honestly can. Pregnant Micah is not going to. It's a difference. I still can. I don't want to. That's a total fucking difference. I don't want it. I don't want it right now. Will I pick it back up? Maybe later. But as of now, I'm not bothered. But not everybody can actually not hold on to what other people's problems are. Like, it's kind of hard, especially depending on what that person is feeding you. You know what I'm saying?
And what their relationship is with that person, and
yeah. So
your sympathy for them and all that shit.
Yeah, and like when I got pregnant, I didn't feel the trauma of my friends losing kids until I got pregnant. They told me they lost the kid. They told me they had a miscarriage. They told me they had abortion. That's so sad. I feel so bad for you. I wonder how you're coping. How are you getting through that? Are you going to therapy? Are you blah, blah, blah? I'm in the moment when it's time, but that is done. But that shit didn't affect me until I got pregnant. I knew that shit years ago. It didn't affect me until now. So, I feel like some things won't hit you automatically. Maybe you'll be okay in the moment until it's your fucking reality and you like, oh shit.
It's a possibility for you.
All I can think about is what this person went through, right? And it's affecting me more than I thought it would, right? So, I don't know. I just think being more honest with each other when we start feeling a way, like, and I know it's hard not to be sensitive when people tell you the truth, right? Or when people are trying to share, hey, can we have a moment real quick? I feel like this is what I'm getting. Tell me if I'm wrong, right? Like, just in general, like if you are feeling a way about the way a friend is coming at you when they are drunk, when they are upset with their boyfriend, when they are blah, 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 it should be a moment of transparency. Okay, hey, I'm saying this. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I'm just trying to figure it out because it's affecting me. I don't know. It just seems like all you call me for is to vent. It seems like all you call me for is to complain. Like, it almost feels like you don't care about me. That's some real shit. And as a person on the other end, you need to hear that and not get defensive.
To me, that's the most important part you just said.
That's their truth. And if it's
that's the important part.
And you respect me as your friend, like, respect me as your friend and know that I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. But all I have to say right now is, I feel like you don't care about me. And if I want to be dramatic as fuck and say you don't care about me, I can say that because that's how I feel. You don't ask about me.
To somebody, you can't tell them how to respond to it.
Just talk about your stuff all the time. And then when it's time for me to talk, I'm exhausted. I have nothing to say to you because you
at this point I want to dig myself out of fucking depression, bitch.
Yeah. So I just be cognizant of the way that you're treating your friends and manipulation, because it can start off innocent. It really can. It can start off you just wanting a certain response from somebody, and then that shit starts becoming a monster because then you figure out a way to do it and it's effective every time. That's the fucked up part. Mm-hmm. That's the manipulation part.
That's the manipulation. And I think for people who are in that situation, that are the ones that are on the receiving end of it. Like I said, it's not your job to fix anyone. If you want to take on that task, then so be it. But it's not your job to fix everyone. And I think some people are also blind to how hearing certain shit from people affect them. You know what I mean? Some people are blind to that and they don't really realize. You don't notice how every time you get off the phone with bruh, you feel a certain kind of way. You know, like, pay attention to how you feel after conversations with people. Mm-hmm. You know, see how that shit sets your vibe off. See how you respond to other people after you talk to them. It's not your job to save everyone. And it's also, you need to protect yourself at all costs. So you have to find ways to notice, okay, if I'm giving this person solution after solution or something to try after something to try, and they're just but and not doing it. Like you only got to do that shit with me like twice. It's just like, okay, look. And I had this issue with one of my exes. He was like that. He had just problem after problem after problem. And I'm very solution oriented. I'm a project manager. So all I do is find problems and find a plan to fix the problem. Like, this is it. So I do this all throughout my life. He never wanted to do that. And so I concluded this is part of the reason I broke up with him. It was like, we don't handle issues the same way. I can't deal with you just moping and being depressed about whatever the fuck you got going on. And these weren't life-threatening things. This was just whatever he's going through. Mind you, he's still never gone to therapy. He's still never fixed it. So I feel like he's still got all these fucking problems, but whatever. But I'm not good at just sitting in the cycle of being upset and whatever with you. And then a lot of these people, I find, the two people I'm thinking of at this point that are very similar, and even the ex I'm talking about, they all drank, they all smoked weed. So they use these vices to also help them get their mind off of whatever they're dealing with. And they spend a little time, and then the next day they wake up and they still fucking depressed or upset or bothered or whatever the complaint is. And then the cycle just continues. You're not going to work me in that with you. And I think saying it how Micah said it, I would have said it a little more, because I suggested two things last time I heard this. My option would have been very stern. Look, you come at me with this shit again, you need to go get help. If you don't go to therapy, I'm not doing this with you anymore. And it's gonna hurt a little bit, but I'm not gonna feel bad at all for protecting myself in this situation, as opposed to being stressed the fuck out by you because you're choosing to just sit in misery. And then now I'm the fucked up friend or whomever, because I don't want to sit in misery with you. You know, so I just say, just keep remembering to think about yourself in these situations. Stand up for yourself more. And if you feel like any of this is similar, you may be the person doing this to your friends or your family members or your lover or your kids. Some people do to their kids. Doing it to these people, it's just like, just take yourself out of your own shit for a while and consider how you may be making somebody else feel, especially somebody you're supposed to care about. Because if they peep and they anything like me, they're gonna cut you the fuck off. We don't have to talk. Like, this happened with somebody, a family member I was very close with, and I literally do not see me ever speaking to them again. Like, I don't even know where to begin. I kept telling Micah, I don't even know how to start to fix this with them.
That shit dead. And sometimes it's dead, y'all.
It seems like this shit dead.
Sometimes it's dead, because when people show you who they really are,
Jesus,
there's no coming back from that. And I feel like we get hung up on how long we know somebody. We get hung up on what this person has done for us. What the fuck have you done for me lately? That's what I'm on.
And what they are supposed to be in your life. They're supposed to be your best friend. They're supposed to be your sister. They're supposed to be your brother.
What have have you done for me lately? How have you contributed to my mental health? How are we responding to each other today? Not when we was in high school, not when 6 years ago. Fuck that. No. I have a whole new respect for time now.
It's the hammer.
Whole new respect for time.
Everybody listening, she got a hammer in her hand. She's swinging a hammer.
Goddamn. I have a whole new respect for time now, and that shit don't mean nothing. I think it's worse if you can do me like that after knowing me for so long. That's how I look at it. I think that shit is worse.
And time was a big deal for me.
Points. You don't get points anymore.
But I'm with Micah on this one now. That time shit don't.
Shouldn't be doing this shit. We shouldn't be doing this. Not
after all this time.
So that's crazy to me.
It's sad. It's sad to me. I cry. It is a very devastating thing to find someone you've known for however long has just flipped the script on you. But like Micah said, that's a very good takeaway from this. If you two things, I said one of those to the homegirl I had. If this person cares about you, y'all love each other like y'all supposed to, you should be thoroughly able to tell them, hey, look, babe, you're draining the fuck out of me. Okay. Oh my God. And they should be able to understand that. If they could just take themselves out and understand, damn, this might be hard to hear. And if they do flip it on you and still complain, then it may be more along the sides of what Micah was saying, where once somebody shows you who they are, because like I said, this person I feel this way with, I'm just mind blown. I cannot believe they handle me that way. And I told Micah, bitch, I don't think it's ever gone. This shit did. She keeps saying this shit did. So protect yourself, people, protect your sanity, protect your mental health, and people don't be douchebags and just pour shit on everybody. That little metaphor that goes around, check on your strong friends. It's a thing. You should check on your strong friends. Strong friends be going through shit all the time. They're strong, so they handle it in a different way. And honestly, a lot of times it may be because either they don't like talking about their problems like that, or maybe they're even more considerate than you, and they don't feel the need to come pour all their shit on you because all you fucking do is pour your shit on them. Clearly, you have no more capacity for anything to be poured. And now you pour strong friends just the fuck out in there by themselves being strong as shit.
Or the strong friend goes to an actual therapist.
Or.
Boom.
Check
on their ass though.
All right. Give me something for the blacks.
Black women, damn it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all the scrutiny that we have to live through and live by, and just the way the world sees us, the way that we see ourselves. Like, I feel like we get lost in all these different images and who we should be, and our parents and our family members, like, they project a certain thing about Black women. So it's not just the world, it's even, the people who love us, the standards that they hold us to, like, we almost can't make mistakes. And even for Black women who do make those mistakes, and they're super hard on themselves, and it's just this perfectionist way of living, like, it's just exhausting being a Black woman sometimes. It is. I would have it no other way though, goddamn. I don't want to be nothing else.
Speak on it.
So I do believe self-care should mean a whole lot more to us than it does other people. Like, people depend on us to be there for them, even when they know they don't deserve us, right? So, and this is going back from when we used to breastfeed the master's children. That's crazy. It's still mind-blowing to me that you thought I was such an animal and so disgusting that you allowed your child to take nourishment from my breast, my body. You were comfortable with giving your child to me to nurture them, to make sure that they grew healthy and strong. That shit's fucking weird. But what I will say, it just speaks volume of who we are. We are goddess. We are gods. We are the exemplary of a human being. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like sometimes that's a heavy crown to wear. So what I want to say is just self-care. Think about you a little bit more. Be honest with people. When you're tired, say you're tired. When you need help, ask for help. I know that's one thing that we totally suck at. It can be very small by saying, can you can you open this jar of pickles for me? And we know you can open it, sis. But I'm just trying to start you off real small when it comes to asking for help. We have a whole lot of pride when it comes to a lot of things. And I think it's just because of the stigma that we have to be, because we're strong Black women and all that stuff. And we've talked about what the strong means to Black women. We're women first and all those other adjectives after. We're just as delicate. We're just as sympathetic. We're just as nourishing. We're just all of those soft, ladylike things. We're still that, but it sucks. And I know the stress of being a Black woman in America can really be a lot. So I don't know. Just speak up a little more. I think the stress levels have a lot to do with our mortality rate when it comes to birth. So I'm not gonna put it all on the hospital, but they ain't shit either. But our levels of stress are much higher than everybody else's. That's a real thing. So just check your stress level. You know what I'm saying? Just take more breaths. I have a watch that tells me to breathe sometimes. Do I listen to it all the time? No. But there's an app on Netflix called Headspace, Guide to Meditation.
Oh, that's what you watch.
Yes.
Okay, it came on and I was gonna watch it, but at the time I was a little inebriated, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna check this when I'm sober, and I never did.
Yeah.
It came up, yeah.
And they have another series. So the first one is Guide to Meditation. The second one is Sleep, and now this interactive one. So I watch before I go to sleep. They're 23-minute episodes, and it really helped me. I sleep really, really well after I watch an episode. And it's a guided meditation. That's all it is. This alone, 20 minutes a day, they say our brain function even goes up into the next percentile when you meditate, when you breathe, when you control your thoughts. So something as small as watching a television show to relax you, I think that's what you should do. So Black women, you self-care. Okay, girl, keep it together.
That's beautiful. And I'll co-sign that, I guess. I put a post up today that said, if standing up for yourself requires you burning a bridge, then fuck that bridge. And I'm not even gonna lie, it's fuck that bridge for me. And it took me a very long time to get here. Well, let me not say that. When I do get to the point where I'm over it, I'm over it. It just always takes me a very long time to get to where I'm over it. And that could be a part of taking some of Micah's advice, where you got to peep this stuff a little sooner. The more conversations I've had, the older I've gotten, the more I've seen how people and their shit affect me. And there's so many ways you can do that. I'm very critical of myself. I'm more critical of myself than anybody else. But I think it is very mindful of you. And it just goes in with Micah, but it's crazy because I posted it today and I was going to talk about it. But it is very important to stand up for yourself. And it goes on to what we're talking about with the manipulation. It goes on with the self-care. It goes on with how difficult it is to be a Black woman. And we're definitely me and Micah, we're Black women. So this is our plight. This is our soapbox. And there's so many ways that it could be crazy. And I think when I see the most recent thing I just saw that kind of annoyed me was Candace Owens. Candace Owens makes her career is out of just being annoying. I don't really understand politics. I don't know if she's right wing, left wing, whatever wing. I don't know what side, whatever. But and Juneteenth just passed, and she put up a post and it just said Juneteenth is so, I think she said corny or whack or something like that. And then she says, I'm an American. I'll be celebrating 4th of July. So Azealia Banks, who honestly is a singer, but nobody ever knows because all Azealia ever gets in the media for is just starting drama with people. But Azealia dragged sis so fucking crazy. And it was great. She just went on, she was like, basically by your stance, you would have still been doing this and this and this after I don't know if she mentioned the feeding thing, but that just going and breastfeeding the masses baby. You would have been helping some old white widow comb her hair out. And then when she woke up the next day and her hair was falling out because her husband just died, she's going to blame it on you and your nigga mojo. And then she's going to hang you. She gave a whole synopsis of what a day in the life of a slave is at that time. While she decides she wants to celebrate 4th of July, she's like, bitch, you were still a slave. And I think the summary of all that is for the Black people that do feel that way, for whatever reason that you feel this way, I'm going to let you have that. But I think do yourself a favor, do us all a favor, and just shut the fuck up about it. whenever she feels the need to say something like that, it's like that point is the point I made in my Juneteenth video. It was like years and years and years. It was like 1970 something to 1865. Like it was years apart before that shit came all the way down to officially have Juneteenth be a thing or whatever. And Juneteenth's been around for years, and we just made it a thing recently because the government's trying to pacify us for other things. So I think it's just all that type of stuff, just that on your mind. If you care about shit like that, like I do, you just kind of look at people like Candace, what is white people doing for you that you feel so, you find it so necessary?
That white man she married to doing her.
Oh, she's married to a white man?
Yes, she is.
Oh.
The corniest white man you've ever seen, too. Shit.
Damn, I didn't know Candace had a...
Oh, Lord.
She had a colonizer over there.
Oh, Lord.
Same thing, you know. Shout out to Azealia Banks for that.
Really quick, for her saying she's American, she's gonna celebrate the...
Yeah, I'm American. I'm celebrating 4th of July.
Because slavery happened in America, douche. Juneteenth is a fucking American fucking
holiday now.
Milestone. Like in whatever the fuck it was, June 19th, the last slaves are free, bitch. That's American history. I'm American. You're an idiot.
That's what it's like. You see that, it's like, okay, she just, it's like you have to just want to piss.
I'm American.
Yeah, like you have to just want to piss somebody off because what you're saying.
A white man's dick, bitch. Because I just
maybe it's busting.
Bitch, can't be.
I wouldn't know.
She bring. You know what?
All right. Well, anyway, that's it. Black women stay strong. Black folks be great. Check manipulation, find it as best you can. If you are a manipulator and you don't realize it, if you can relate to any of the shit me and Micah said, you may have a fucking problem. Fix it. Fix it. Get the fuck up out of here. Okay, that shit dead. That's Micah's phrase. She's been saying that shit nonstop the past couple months. Yeah. It's been hilarious every time. So thank you guys so much for listening. Please visit us at letitsaitforyou.com. Follow us at Let It Say For You on IG, Let It Say For You on YouTube, and Let It Say For You, Just the You on Twitter. We appreciate you guys. This is our first episode since our 2-year mark. We 2 years in the podcast game. Put some respect on our podcast, sucker. That's how it's so. Woo! Put some respect on our podcast. Man. Thank you guys so much for listening and sharing and following. You guys are the best in the West. Beth, I love you so much, big girl.
Big girl.
They had TT baby over there. Dap him up from. Ooh. Alexa thought I called her, girl. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. Goodbye.